Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be talking about the low prices we've been seeing for silver lately and what you guys think about this. If you guys are going to be buying, if you're selling, if you're holding off, what are your time frames, what's your price ranges, just the whole thing. I'm really curious what you guys have to offer or your insight in this field because it's very controversial and it's very individual, to each his own. Everyone started stacking silver at different points. So if you got into silver when it was the $20 range a couple years ago, right now this is a perfect buying opportunity because you're desensitized to that $20 mark. But if you're someone who got in at maybe 11, 12, $13, then this is still pretty high. Not it can never be high. $10 is never high for silver, but right now you might still be trying to maybe even see it go lower, or maybe right now you're scared it's going to keep going lower, so you're almost in the selling mind state. It's very fascinating how this works. It's usually supposed to be buy low, sell high, but most people do the opposite. They buy high and sell low, and that's usually because when the markets are high, there's a lot of hype around it. It's all over the news and everyone's talking about it, and it gets you excited and it makes you think it's going to keep going up, so they buy when the prices are high, and then when it's dropping, everyone's talking bad about it, and the fear comes in, and then you're scared it's going to keep going lower. You're going to lose all your money, so then you sell. So you really want to take all the FUD out. You really want to just think rationally about this. Silver will not stay at the $10 range. It's just a good buying opportunity. But I'm curious what you guys think about this. You guys have to remember, I'll pull up a chart right here. Silver was around $50 in 2011. Not a lot of people remember that. So just not even 8 years ago, silver was it's literally around, I think it was $51, I think was the price, to be exact. But anyway, so I'm gonna put up a poll chart in the right hand corner. I'm gonna ask you guys, what is your ideal buying price? What spot price of silver is the perfect price for you to start buying. Obviously, the lower the better. But usually, what do you look for? Maybe a lot of people, it's around $15 range. If it reaches $20, they're like, I'm gonna hold off. That's a little too high. Just because it is, for me and my, when I got into silver when it was around $21. So when it's around that range, I tend to hold off because I usually know it's gonna drop right around back down to 18, whatever. But right now, it definitely, at $15, just above 15. It did hit below. It was in the $14.80 range a couple days ago. So it's a great buying opportunity. You can get it for cheap. Talking about spot price, premiums usually hold the same, or usually hold the same price. I'm not going to go into that whole video, and that could be a whole separate video. But basically, spot price is protected or more generalized around coins that are only sold for its metal content. Coins that have numismatic, semi-numismatic value, that have some premiums behind it, those coins are not protected from spot price. So even if spot price goes down, those coins are usually still the same price. So if you are trying to buy just bullion, just the metal content, that's something you have to look out for. It can be beneficial, or it can hurt your stack, or your profits, potential profits at least. That's something to think about. But also another way you can look at the ideal profit margins, or even just the silver price, or even with gold, is looking at the gold to silver ratio. Usually it's around 80 to 85 to 1, which means it takes 80 ounces of gold, or 80 ounces of silver, I'm sorry, 80 ounces of silver to equal 1 ounce of gold. But usually it doesn't go anywhere past 85. It usually levels back around. So if it's around 85 to 1, there's going to be a correction. Usually it's either pushing gold lower or silver higher, just to level it back out and balance it. I personally think the gold to silver ratio should be a lot lower. It used to be around 30, 40 to 1. Back in the day, it was actually around like 8, 9 to 1. It comes out of the ground roughly 9 to 1. So if you look at that, look at that perspective of it, you can really see how out of whack, how exaggerated this is, and how there definitely should be a correction. But it's definitely should be around 40 to 1 in my opinion, pushing silver up and gold a little lower. But I really don't think that silver has a really a set price right now, like, or even to say what it could or should be. Bitcoin has been stuck around the $5,000 range. Looking at that, it's hard to tell with Bitcoin. I'm not going to go into cryptocurrency too much just because, very controversial. This is more of a silver channel. I've talked about it in the past, but right now I'm really trying to direct my attention more to precious metals. But as you see, Bitcoin really has stagnated around $5,000. Is that its natural or maybe its native price? Who knows? I think it might be just because it has been stagnant around that for so long. But you also have to look at there's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be produced that are ever out there, and already 17 million have been in circulation. So there's only 4 million left to be found until there's no more Bitcoin, and they're all sold up and held. And that's where you can say whoever owns that coin can set the price basically because there's no more to be found. It's the whoever owns the suppliers can basically name the price, just like with any type of silver coin or numismatic coin, rare coin, key date, that there's not too many out there. The people say it's priceless or it's hard to set there's no set price because it, there hasn't been that many sold to even say what a price could be. So really it's up to it's not even it's more than that. It's not even up to the supplier, it's up to the buyer. Whatever the buyer's whatever it's only up to however much money the buyer's willing to give you. I could have the rarest coin in the world that there's no set price because it's never been sold before or none have been on the market for a while, and I can say it's worth $20,000, but if no one's willing to give me $20,000 for it, is that coin really worth $20,000? It could, if someone's only willing to give me 7,000, then that coin is really only worth 7,000. So you can see that mind state behind it. But anyways, I really do think this is a great buying opportunity. If you really want to get the biggest bang for your buck, definitely buy in bulk. If you go online, you can definitely get, if you buy tubes of American Eagles even, they have the 2019s each year. Usually what I do, especially if you buy coins like pandas, kookaburras, if you buy the current year, you can get them for a lot cheaper, close to spot price, a little above. They have a little higher premium than American Eagles. But if you're buying like 2015, 2016 pandas, you're paying some major premiums. You want to steer away from that. Save that for the Black Friday deals around Christmas time where you can get some good deals. But if you're trying to still buy some semi-numismatic coins with that have some type of a potential to grow in premium over time in the next 5-10 years, like pandas, kooks, then definitely buy the current year and just do that every year. Buy 2019, next year buy 2020, and that's your way of collecting some semi-numismatic coins that will protect itself from spot price. Even if spot price drops, these coins can still hold its value for around the same price. American Eagles coins like that, you won't get that. So you definitely want to just really think about how to diversify in your stack, protect your stack against spot price, protect your stack against major risk taking, whether it's condition, toning, milk spotting. Maybe you want to stay away from 4/9 fine silver because it's so soft. It is easily scratchable, easily milk spottable. You just definitely want to go all the routes, play all the corners. Think about how you're going to sell to give yourself the best potential for your stack, especially if silver is going to keep going down. You want to diversify and figure out ways how to still make your stack profitable regardless of what spot price is. And I think that is so important. I think that's so important nowadays to really think about that. Maybe it's buying 20-ounce bars. The more money you spend, usually the bigger your purchases, the more discounts you can get, especially with online dealers including the free shipping over $100. So you really want to think about that. But also, if you're the one thing I do want to say though is if you are buying bars that are high, like 20-ounce bars, 100-ounce bars, you don't want to buy too many of those. In my opinion, I can't tell you guys how to stack, but the only thing is, if silver does ever go back up to $50, maybe even $100, you really want to be careful with that, because if you're stuck with a bar that is that expensive, your potential customers, people that will buy that off you, drastically narrows down, Because if you think about it, if silver's $100 an ounce and you have a 100-ounce bar, a lot of people don't have the money to buy that. But if you have a couple ounces, or if you have all your 100 ounces in single, coins, it's a lot easier for people to buy that off. You don't have to find one seller. You can find, various individual sellers that can buy them, piece them out. Plus, you can make more money off of it that way too, especially if you can add premiums on top for each coin instead of making one purchase where there's only one, one extra premium or one extra type of factor on top of spot price. You can do it individual sales. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But also maybe even going fractionals as well. Fractionals is a perfect way. I say constitutional or junk silver is the perfect way to store fractionals. A lot of fractional generic rounds you can buy, like the Volcambi 1 gram bars or Sunshine Mint, the 10th ounce rounds, have some really high premiums on them due to stamping and all that. So I definitely think going the junk silver route is the best way to do that. Not only because it's a great way to store fractionals, but also they don't make it anymore. It's a piece of American history. They can start growing numismatic value almost like Morgans do. So it's something else that can, the thing to think about is the most potential. When I try to think about my stack, what can I purchase, what can I accumulate that has the most potential in the future to make the best gains. And also you have to think about it as a customer, as a consumer mind state, not as a seller, but as a consumer, because that's who's going to be buying your coins. So anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe as well, and also vote in that comment box above. Let me know what your price range is. I'm curious. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys soon. Peace.